when I found her recipe book, I said I can take her pie recipes, incorporate them into my cheesecake batter to keep her legacy going. And you know what? When she came into the kitchen and we began to communicate with each other, it's like the dementia left her. My grandmother was back. We began to just conversate as if it was grandma and co. And I
Uh-huh.
knew I had something. And so I dedicate this whole business to her. And so each cheesecake you taste is grandma's recipe.
Welcome to DFW Grit. I'm Dr. James Taylor, and I'm your host, and this is more than just a podcast. We dive into the stories of the movers, the shakers, the small business owners, the entrepreneurs, right here in the DFW Metroplex. This is your home for authentic, real stories that prove what happens when you don't back down. Let's get to work. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DFW Grit. Today, with me is Mr. Cole Jones, the proprietor, one of them, of Cole's Custom Cheesecakes. I'll say at least the namesake of Cole's Custom Cheesecakes. Just before the camera got rolling, it really is turning into something awesome, because I asked, like, hey, how do you hear about us? I say us, it's just me. But actually, it's just a friend tagged him in a post of a chamber that I'm not even a member of. And like literally, I don't know if you've caught any previous episodes, but literally, I do the whole podcasting thing just for fun, just for a way to get people just like you and me a little more exposure, just get a couple more eyes. Basically, can I introduce my audience to your cheesecake? So, Cole, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
We have to
me.
make sure your friend that said thanks. So, Cole's Custom Cheesecakes.
Yes, sir.
So, start off, everyone, basically the same, dude. What is your origin story? Why cheesecakes? How cheesecakes?
That's a great story. I mean, that's a great question, actually. I actually went to school for weather. I used to chase tornadoes.
No way.
Yes. Right. It's like, how do you connect cheesecake weather? How does that come about?
Yeah, that wasn't on your About Me section in your website.
It wasn't. So I'm a Texas Tech grad.
Okay.
So yeah, Rackham, go Tech. But I used to spend a lot of summers in Tulsa, Oklahoma with my grandmother. And so during the pandemic, that's when we realized grandmother was going through something. So she got diagnosed with dementia.
Okay.
And so grandmother could no longer cook. She was staying with us. And so when holidays came about, grandmother used to make pies. Well, I was like, you know what? How hard could it be to make pies? I was like, let me take on that challenge. Well, it's very hard. I've discovered there is a difference between teaspoon and tablespoon. When I went to measure the salt, I put a tablespoon of salt instead of a teaspoon. What would taste the difference?
Noticeably different.
Right. It was very salty. But then when I came across the recipe of cheesecake, that's when I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I fell in love with that concept of how to make cheesecake. And so I was like, I love the complexity of it. And so I just kept making cheesecakes. And I'm like, I just love the way making cheesecake made me feel. It was like a stress reliever for me. But you fast forward a couple of years, grandma is still going through her dementia. And I was like, I wanted to do something to honor my grandmother. And that's when it hit me. When I found her recipe book, I said I can take her pie recipes, incorporate them into my cheesecake batter to keep her legacy going. And you know what? When she came into the kitchen and we began to communicate with each other, it's like the dementia left her. My grandmother was back. We began to just conversate as if it was grandma and co. And I knew I had something. And so I dedicate this whole business to her. And so each cheesecake you taste is grandma's recipe.
Dude, that is wild. Yes. And especially like the whole dementia thing too. I mean, it's hard to see it progress, like because it is noticeable, but it's noticeable like deep. It's not like the body deteriorates, but the mind is so much more prevalent, right? Like it's probably not days where she might not remember exactly who you are or something like that. But you hear stories. In my mind, it always seems like the stories always revolve around music. Like music will, quote unquote, bring somebody out of dementia. Right. But it's so cool. Like that baking brought her out of. So you're at Texas Tech. What year about are we talking?
This is like 2012, I graduated in 2013. So about 2010, 2013 is where I went to tech. And that's where I discovered Chick-fil-A. And
Okay.
Chick-fil-A actually played a pivotal role in this life because it gave me the business acumen that I needed to be able to run my own business because I
Okay.
became a senior director in that whole role of co-running a business. I needed Chick-fil-A in my life to be able to understand the business acumen.
Now, is that when we've all heard stories of the career path at Chick-fil-A. So you started out at the counter, I assume?
Yes.
Taking orders and
I
whatnot?
worked my way up.
And made it up to what?
Senior director.
Okay. What are the responsibilities of a senior director?
It's running the whole business. It's inventory. It's hiring. It's everything you can imagine.
Okay.
And I used to work for so not just Chick-fil-A as in a community, but Chick-fil-A corporate. So I did everything.
Oh.
I got introduced to so much in a short span.
Uh-huh.
And that was unheard of because I started out as a regular team member.
Yeah. Yes. So we're talking in the mid 2000 teens.
Mm-hmm.
And then when did grandma get diagnosed?
That's right when the pandemic, so 2020.
Okay.
Right.
So you're with Chick-fil-A
for a long time. So,
yeah.
So once I graduated from college, so 2013. So I got introduced to Chick-fil-A about 2011. I started tech about 2010. So a year into tech, I got introduced to Chick-fil-A. Once I graduated from tech, I moved back to Keller. I kept with Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A, it just seemed like a good business to stay in, a part of. So I was like, you know what? I love chasing tornadoes, but tornadoes only for a season.
Forgot all about that already.
Right. My mama didn't. She was like, I'm so glad you stopped. So I stuck with Chick-fil-A. And then that's where I got introduced to Chick-fil-A corporate.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A corporate just opened my eyes to so much more. And so again, it's building my resume of business acumen because now I'm in rooms full of people who are billionaires that I never thought that I was even good for because I'm teaching them how to run their business. It's so funny how God just put me in position to just say, hey, Cole, you thought you were not worthy, but actually you are worthy to be in position to be in front of billionaires. And I'm like, I'm teaching them how to run their business. Are you kidding me right now? Like,
these just like franchisees or something?
Yes. I mean, I'm like, how does this happen? But I'm ready for it. I mean, the whole time I'm nervous because I'm like, how can I teach you how to run your business? You already have the keys to your business.
Yeah, you must have done something right. You got a lot of commas in your bank account.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm gonna teach you how to run your business efficiently. But okay, I trust you. So I'm teaching them how to do this. Meanwhile, this is all in Atlanta. So I'm flying back and forth from Atlanta to Keller. When I go back to Keller, I'm still running and it's Elizabeth Fritz and Keller. So I'm running her store, day-to-day restaurant. I'm running her people. I'm running the people part of her business. So I'm hiring, I'm developing team members, I'm developing leaders. That's what I'm doing for her restaurant.
Making sure people say my pleasure.
Right. Yes. I know. If you don't look at me. But all of this is playing a role of Cole's Custom Cheesecake because I'm still making cheesecakes on the side, but it's not a business yet.
Right.
It hasn't even become a business until the pandemic hits because then that's when corporate stops because they had to shut everything down, right?
Okay.
And so that's when I realized, oh, okay. So that's when I stayed home and I'm still working for Chick-fil-A, but in the community, not for corporate.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started to see something in grandma, and that's when it hits me. Oh, grandma is something going on with her. That's when we understand that she's dealing with dementia.
Okay.
So that's when I started to decide, like, what do I want to do? Because corporate has stopped. And so I could pursue Chick-fil-A as a career just within a community, or can I do something more with what I want to do in my heart, which is to honor my grandmother. And so I talked it over with the operator at the local Chick-fil-A, and she said, if cheesecake is something you want to do, then go for it. And so she supported me, and I thanked her for that because she gave me the instruments that I needed to be able to run this business that I am now. So 2023 is when Custom Cheesecake really took off.
Okay, so we've hit I'll call it milestones like this on a couple of other episodes. Hey, I had this. Let's call it maybe not a sure thing. I had this safe thing.
Yeah.
Again, I've never worked for Chick-fil-A, but everyone is pretty well versed in in their longevity plan, right? If you stay around, generally speaking, if you stay around, don't fuck up, they will reward you.
Right.
That's safe. That is, I've got my 9 to 5.
Right.
But it's not my passion.
Right.
So talk to me just a little bit about that. Like, we talked to the operator and she's like, hey, if you want to do cheesecake, do cheesecake. Yeah. Something tells me like you probably ran that idea by a few other people that literally said, you've got safety. Why cheesecake? Like what was that transition like? And just the people that you ran across, they're like, hey, guess what? I'm leaving Chick-fil-A. I've been there 8 years or whatever, but I'm doing cheesecakes now.
It was a conversation that I had with my mom. Growing up, I didn't really have a lot. My mother, even though she's with my dad right now, my dad wasn't always in the picture. Give you a brief story. My dad was in and out of my life. And so all the odds were always against me. I'm black. I'm I'm a male, and so everything was always against me. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college, and my mom has always taught me, if you work hard in life, you will always achieve the impossible. She always told me to pray. My grandmother always taught me to pray, and put God first. And she gave me the strength that I needed to overcome any type of obstacles. Going through college, I actually went blind in both of my eyes, and that almost hindered me from graduating from college. I ended up getting a cornea transplant to both eyes.
Okay.
I know, and I had to end up taking 3 crazy courses in the summer in order to get me to pass college, to get me to graduate. I had to take calculus, physics, and chemistry all in the summer to get me to graduate.
Math, and math.
Yes.
Huh.
You don't do that.
No, you don't. That's dumb.
But I was determined. I said, I am going to do this to graduate because I am determined.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
Uh-huh.
Nothing was easy about it.
I've taken all 3 of those courses, but not in the same term.
Yeah, and it's the summer.
Yeah, and in the summer.
But I was determined. And I have everything to gain, everything to lose. And so my mom was my strength, and I told her, I said, I am going to do this. So I had everything against me, but I'm a determined person. And so I graduated. That was the first hurdle. This business, I never thought I could ever have anything to my name. I never thought I could ever have anything to my family's name. I wanted to do this not just for my family, not just for my grandmother, but for the people that are not even here yet, for the generation that's not even here yet. I feel like I have a job to do. I want something that's going to live forever in our family because it's not heard of. And I told my mom, I said, this is going to be grandma's legacy, but it's going to live on forever and ever. And I told her, this is my passion.
God damn, dude, you're giving me chills. Like, this is, that's awesome. Like, and like you said, like you got a job to do. I think this goes without being said, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, it's not even you got a job, dude. You just have a purpose.
Yes.
Like, just a stone cold, solid purpose. Just, and there's, dude, nothing brings people together like food. Like,
it really does.
Absolutely nothing. Like, because I can literally envision. I have no idea what any of your other family looks like, but I can envision y'all sitting around the table, and grandma brings out her, like, everyone's sitting there waiting, like the food's done. A couple people might have undone a button or something like that, but no one's leaving the table because we got to wait for grandma's pie.
Right.
And so, did I catch too? Like, so you don't do her pies, but you put her pie recipes into cheesecake.
Right.
That's wild, because like it's funny too. Like, literally, I personally love cheesecake, and literally one of my core memories is my grandma's cheesecake, and she was from Coffeyville, Kansas, or at least that's where she lived when we went down there. I remember we went down. I don't know if it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Christmas. It was a Christmas because I got Legos. And somebody said, keep those on the table. Grandpa better not step on those Legos. So, but Grandma made a cheesecake. Grandma Taylor made a cheesecake. She put crushed pineapple in it.
Yeah.
And it blew my 6-year-old mind. It was fantastic. And like, I can literally like taste it as I'm talking about here. And talking about like, yeah, just take my grandma's pie recipes. I put in cheesecakes. So you're hitting me right where I need to be. But no, like, sorry, not crazy little segue. I was thinking about my grandma's cheesecake the whole time we were talking. But yeah, like I said, it's not even a job. It's really just a purpose. And everybody I've talked to that has made that kind of leap from again, from the safety into the unknown, shout out, Sumo, his podcast is Into the Unknown. He's my producer.
Nice.
But like literally, it's always been that thing. It hasn't, nobody has left a job necessarily, at least people I've interviewed, because they truly hated it, because it just sucked. They left it because they just felt there was something greater for them. And dude, that's wild. So, okay, you know what, everyone? We're making cheesecakes. What'd you do next? Like, were you selling them out of your kitchen, the trunk of your car?
Well, then I had to research because the cottage laws didn't allow me to be able to do that from home. And then it's like, whoa, okay, well then let me figure out.
Real quick, what's a cottage law?
it's it's the federal laws that, okay, well, if I want to be a home baker, what does that look like? And so it prevents me from being able to sell it from my home. So then what does that look like? I have to go out and get a commercial kitchen. And so in order to make this actual business, then I had to look for where can I go and get a kitchen at. Luckily for me, there's a commercial kitchen right in the heart of Keller. So everything is relatively close. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I'm very fortunate that I have a commercial kitchen that's available to me right here in the heart of Keller.
So is it like is it part of a restaurant? Is it a community kitchen?
It's a community kitchen where anybody who wants to become a business owner and who bakes, they're welcome to use it and just rent it out.
No way, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that common? I've never heard of that.
I didn't hear
chiropractor. I have no need to know this kind of thing, but
yeah, I mean, apparently it is very common. There's a lot of them in Fort Worth. There's only one, I believe, in Keller, but they're all over DFW.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've found out how to book the kitchen,
right?
You went in there and
so I started game planning. I connected with the Chamber of Commerce. They did a whole ribbon cutting for me to introduce the business to the city of Keller, and then within the first year of 2023, we became best new business of Keller.
Hell yeah!
Like, I started from nowhere. I was a nobody, and we became best new business of 2023. And I'm like, how do you do that? Just cheesecakes. Apparently, we have some really good cheesecakes.
Apparently, we have some good cheesecake. So, how many cheesecakes do you sell in a year?
Oh wow, hundreds and hundreds of cheesecakes.
Okay, how many in a month?
Oh my gosh, I would say, oh my goodness, I would say at least 300.
Jesus,
if not more. I mean, it's growing. I mean, I'm at least 100% already. The half a year, I'm 100% over from last year right now.
No way.
It's growing.
You've doubled your business.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Yes. That's fucking cool.
Yes,
it's cool. So what'd you do proud. Like for promotion, for how did people find out about Cole's Custom Cheesecakes?
Like I said, my mother, she's really, because when you hear my mom talk about her mother, it really hits home. Because this is what my mom does. She goes, "This is the best cheesecake in the universe." And that catches people's attention. They're like, "In the universe? Like, what are you talking about?" And then my mom would break the story down. She's like, "Because it's my mom's recipes. And that's why she's my best friend. And that's why I say it's the best in the universe." And that just kills them right there. Yeah. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, my mom has this gift. That's why I say she's the marketing person. But like when you see a picture of my grandmother, she's real light skinned. So we're from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And so you have to picture a light skinned Indian woman with like red hair and this little short, and like I know I'm short, but she's really short. And picture this little apron on her. Like she's so precious. Doesn't have a mean bone in her body. But if you picture this little woman who used to make pies and stuff, it would just tear your heart up. And she has like these really hazel eyes. But like when people see my grandmother, and we bring her so we're always at the farmers market every Saturday.
Okay.
And so people see us there, and we're able to just get out in the community. We're very involved with the city of Keller, but we try to branch out to like Argyle and Sanger, Denton. We try to branch out there, but we're very, very much involved with the community because we want to spread that love of cheesecake.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be cheesecake. Like if you want to just say hi to us, like, we love talking to people. It's crazy. All over cheesecakes.
So you got the the majority, I guess the word out, if you will, through the farmers market and just through the chamber of commerce
and social media. Like people just really love seeing us. Like
uh-huh
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I'm like behind the scenes, but they love seeing the way we interact, me and my mother, and we're like, I don't understand. It's just cheesecakes.
like do you know, kind of on topic, kind of off, do you know Dano's seasoning?
No.
No. Okay, so it's at like Kroger and I think maybe Sam's Club, whatever, but like, one, it's really good, very low salt.
Wow.
But he got his start the same way. Like he's in all these major grocery stores now, but he started at farmers markets, and he brought out a George Foreman grill and would cook up chicken strips with his seasoning on it, and like that's how I got started. It's I love those kind of stories because, like, okay, I'm not going to go to the farmers market and adjust people as a chiropractor, but like when I first got out, like literally, I went to a gas station. I got a map of the city of Hearst and Euless, Bedford, and here in North Ocean Hills, and I went door to door because, like, when you're starting, you got no patience. I got no need to be in the office.
Right.
Secretary's there; she'll answer the phone if it rings. So I just went door to door and just knocked on doors. I was like, hey, I'm a new chiropractor in town. You heard anything? Just let me know. I just block every street off with a Sharpie marker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of stuff, and it goes back to, like, you said you had a job to do, and I'm like, man, I think you just got a passion that you're following.
Yeah.
And people are like, why would you go sit at the farmer's market? Why would you go knock door to door? It's really, it sounds cliche as all hell, but it's not a job when you're doing that kind of stuff. It's
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna start slanging cheesecakes. How do we do that? It's farmer's market. All right, cool. Start there.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fantastic. So you said your mom does the majority of
She's the face.
The face.
Right.
So why is she not here? Nothing against you. You're great. Where's your mom?
Well, she's the caregiver for my grandmother, so she's taking care of her right now. And so she would love to have been here, but she wanted to take care of grandma. But yeah, I mean, but like when people eat the cheesecake, like she would challenge them. She's like, I want you to eat that cheesecake right now in front of me, and let me know what you like.
Tell me it ain't good.
And don't eat it. Like, especially like our signature cheesecake is the sweet potato cheesecake. Grandma was known for her sweet potato pie. And people,
shut up. I mean, I'm in already.
Well, people are like, well, especially in Keller, they like the pumpkin versus sweet potato.
Yeah.
But mom was trying to make them a believer, and she's like, eat that sweet potato right in front of me. And so people would eat in front of her. And I'm in the background. I'm like, oh gosh, what is she doing right now? What is she doing? But they're like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. And my mom is so confident in our ability to make really good cheesecakes that she challenging them. And they're like, oh, this is really delicious cheesecake. And it really is word of mouth. I mean, people are out there advocating for us and are like, these are really good cheesecake. And I'm telling everybody, it's not me. Yes, I make the cheesecake, but it really is the love. Like, I remember grandma, like, she taught me how to make cinnamon rolls. And so when I make my cinnamon roll cheesecake, I'm picturing my grandmother, me and her in the kitchen, and she's teaching me how to make it. It's the love that you see in those cheesecakes. So when you're eating them and you're like, this is delicious, you really are eating that love that I remember me and my grandmother in that kitchen. That's why I really believe like we have a really good product because it's nothing but love in those cheesecakes.
Yeah.
And so like this business has expanded like nobody's business. Like we're in Pho in a Box in Keller. We're at JR's Barbecue in Keller. Like this would have never happened if it wasn't for my grandmother's recipes.
Dude, that's awesome. So you touched on something we haven't hit on yet. Yeah, where do people get your cheesecakes? Like, do we order them online? Do we go to those places? Because you're cooking out of the community kitchen, so you don't have a traditional brick and mortar per se.
Not right now. We are working on that. Yeah. That is coming soon. Stay tuned. But yeah, there's a couple of places in Keller that currently offer our cheesecakes. JR's Barbecue, that's located in Keller in the Tom Thumbs Shopping Center, the Keller Town Shopping Center. And then Pho in a Box.
Snow and North Tarrant, if I remember right.
Ruth Snow and
Keller Parkway.
Yes,
there
Keller
it is.
Parkway. Yep. And then Pho in a Box that's located off of Keller Parkway. And I don't know the cross section, but it's off Keller Parkway.
I bet it's on Google.
I mean, you could Google it. Yes. Those two restaurants currently offer our products. We're always at the Colors Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 to noon at Bear Creek Parkway, at Bear Creek Parkway. And then we're primarily online as well, so you can always order online. But yeah, this business has grown. Like it's yeah. I can't even talk.
I'm
thinking about where I start.
For the person who's not the face of the company, you're doing a great job. One last question, just real quick. So you said you found your grandma's cookbook.
Yes.
Was it handwritten?
So some of it's handwritten, some of it's not, but you can see where she would scribble out what's not, what was it, what she didn't like, and she scribbled what she can. So I have them like tucked away because when we do get that storefront, I am going to have them like in like a secret case so people can see them. But like, so the quick story behind that is that when she moved in with us, I took her desk and no one searched the desk to see what was in it. And one day out of I don't know what was going on, I decided to clean it out. Let me just see what was all in there. And she had some important paperwork in there. That last drawer I pulled out and it was nothing but her recipe books.
Hell yeah, dude.
And that's when it hit me. Like it was like the light glowed. It was like, it was like this was a sign from God. Like, Cole, you hit it. This is what I want you to do. And it was like her handwriting is so beautiful. And like there was
perfect cursive.
Right? Yeah. It was like a chocolate cake recipe. It was a carrot cake recipe. It was a sweet potato pie recipe. I mean, it was so beautiful. And I'm like, I found the gift.
Hell yeah. Yes. As like literally as it should be. Like I said, in my head, I'm like, yeah, you found her cookbook. It's got to have old lady cursive in there.
Yes.
And like, of course, the last bottom drawer, I imagine.
Right.
Yep. Open it up and just like, oh.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic. Okay, so we get your stuff at JR's, Roof Snow, Keller Parkway. What was the name of the other place?
Pho in a Box.
Pho in a Box. Yeah, and then so we can order online?
Order online at CoastCustomCheesecake.com.
Okay. You on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that too?
Oh, yes. We're on social media. So you can find us on Facebook, Coast Custom Cheesecake, and also on Instagram as well.
And apparently quite active in the Keller Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Dude, this is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
That time went by quick, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, I really appreciate you coming in and telling the story and sharing.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, for a guy who isn't the face of the company, you did a fantastic job.
I appreciate you.
So, guys, as always, like I said, like, share, and follow every single episode. More true this than any other. You will learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design. Go through your grandparents' stuff. And literally just, man, like you said, just pass down the legacy that they shared.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. Dude, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate you swinging in.
We
will see each and every one of you on the next episode here of DFW Grit. We'll see you guys.